Welcome to our video, How Extreme Weather is Displacing Indigenous Communities. In this exploration, we will delve into the alarming impacts of climate change, which are increasingly becoming a harsh reality for many indigenous populations around the globe. From land loss and cultural erosion to the struggle for livelihoods and forced migration, we'll reveal the complex challenges faced by these communities. Join us as we discuss the legal and political hurdles they encounter, the resilience they show in the face of adversity, and the urgent need for external support and action to safeguard their futures. 1. The growing threat of extreme weather. In recent years, the frequency and intensity of extreme weather events have increased dramatically. This rise in natural disasters is not just a statistical anomaly, it is a reality that is affecting millions of people globally. Indigenous communities, in particular, are disproportionately impacted due to their close ties to the land and natural resources. Unlike urban areas with robust infrastructure, these communities often lack the resources to effectively combat or recover from such events. This vulnerability is compounded by the fact that many indigenous people live in remote areas where help is hard to come by. As a result, they find themselves facing an existential threat to their way of life. 2. Land loss and cultural erosion. For indigenous people, land is more than just a place to live. It is an integral part of their culture and identity. Extreme weather, such as floods, hurricanes, and wildfires, threatens to erode these lands, causing irreversible damage. This loss is not just physical but also cultural, as many traditions and practices are tied to specific geographic locations. When these lands are damaged or destroyed, it becomes increasingly difficult to preserve cultural heritage. The erosion of sacred lands can lead to a loss of identity, which is akin to losing a piece of oneself. The psychological impact of such loss cannot be overstated, as it leaves communities grappling with their sense of belonging. 3. Impact on livelihood. The livelihoods of many indigenous communities are closely linked to the natural environment. Whether it is farming, fishing, or hunting, these activities are often the backbone of their economies. Extreme weather events can severely disrupt these livelihoods, leading to food insecurity and economic instability. For instance, floods can destroy crops, while wildfires can decimate forests that communities depend on for resources. This disruption forces many to seek alternative sources of income, often leading them away from their traditional ways of life. The economic strain can also exacerbate existing inequalities, making it even harder for these communities to recover and thrive. 4. Forced migration and relocation. When their land becomes uninhabitable, many indigenous communities are left with no choice but to relocate. This forced migration is often fraught with challenges, from securing new land to integrating into different social environments. Relocation can be a traumatic experience, as it involves leaving behind not just homes but entire communities. The emotional toll of such a move is immense, affecting both young and old alike. Moreover, finding a new place that offers the same resources and opportunities is often a daunting task. Forced migration disrupts community cohesion, making it difficult to maintain social structures that have been in place for generations. 5. Legal and political challenges. Indigenous communities frequently face legal and political hurdles when it comes to claiming land rights or receiving aid. Many lack formal documentation for their ancestral lands, making it difficult to secure legal protections. This lack of recognition leaves them vulnerable to exploitation and displacement. Furthermore, political systems often overlook indigenous voices, prioritizing development projects over community needs. This marginalization makes it challenging for these communities to advocate for themselves effectively. As a result, they are often left out of crucial conversations about climate change and disaster preparedness, further complicating their ability to cope with extreme weather events. 6. Community resilience and adaptation. Despite these challenges, many indigenous communities are finding ways to adapt and build resilience. Traditional knowledge and practices offer valuable insights into sustainable living and resource management. These time-tested methods can serve as a blueprint for modern adaptation strategies. By integrating traditional wisdom with contemporary scientific approaches, communities can better prepare for and mitigate the impacts of extreme weather. Community-driven initiatives, such as reforestation projects and sustainable agriculture, are gaining traction as effective solutions. These efforts not only help in combating environmental challenges but also empower communities to take charge of their futures. 7. The role of external support. While Indigenous communities are taking steps to adapt, external support remains crucial. Governments, NGOs, and international organizations have a role to play in providing resources and expertise. Financial aid, technical assistance, and policy advocacy can make a significant difference in helping communities weather the storm. Collaborative efforts that include Indigenous voices in decision-making processes are essential for creating effective solutions. By fostering partnerships and building networks, stakeholders can ensure that communities receive the support they need. The goal should be to equip these communities with the tools and resources necessary to thrive in a changing world. 8. A call to action. The plight of Indigenous communities facing extreme weather is a pressing issue that demands immediate attention. As stewards of the land, these communities possess invaluable knowledge that can contribute to broader climate solutions. However, they cannot do it alone. Collective action is needed to address the root causes of climate change and support those who are most affected. By raising awareness and advocating for policy changes, we can work towards a more equitable and sustainable future. The time for action is now, and it is imperative that we stand in solidarity with Indigenous communities in their fight against extreme weather.